never sailed before.
Kind of, yeah, dipping our toes in uncharted territory. We liked it from the get-go and decided to stick with the offer and go ahead with the purchase.
Yeah.
Of a Pearson 365 ketch.
The rest was history. Okay, everything's signed, everything's handed over, it's all good. So it's now, first protocol is to make a coffee, of course. Oh, you did it. All these. So my mum's not here with us to do this. She loves a bit of brasso.
Nice boat.
Our new home.
Will be. Sailing the 7 seas.
Article Bill.
It is. Much more space than the trailer.
Definitely.
Okay.
After a stop off at the hardware store to get some essentials, we got to work on our new boat. I made a start with cleaning and clearing all the kitchen area. The boat was left in good condition, but it had been sat for a while, so needed a once-over.
Assembled over time, a garden of fruit trees, vegetables, azaleas. Over the almost 7 decades she lived in Boat Basin, more children, more of them outlived 4 husbands.
As I stayed in the warm, Billy braved the cold and took advantage of the rain, wash the worst of the decks and check over the sails. Cheers to our first day.
Yeah, it's just the
Our
first
first night. Very nice. The second day consisted of more sorting and cleaning. I'm lucky that Billy's quite mechanically minded, so he started to work on the engine and check over everything.
Chicken oil in the transmission.
Hey, it's Stevie Dennis from Nos.
General cleaning up.
If you're looking for some
Yeah, just change the zinc in the heat exchanger there.
3092.
Yeah,
Or
few
just
bits
come
as
on
you
in.
go along.
We'd love to give you a hand.
Checking all the electrical stuff, checking the batteries. And checking the alternator. And eventually place the pedal on the water pump. Yeah.
Nice.
Got a quite powerful inverter charger here. Never seen it before because it's tucked up under there. But those batteries, the starter batteries there, started swelling. So I'm going to change them. Just have a look at these guys here. Find out a bit more about these.
I don't know if you'll be able to tell on camera the difference, but I'm giving it a quick once over inside. We've got the chart table over here. That's all cleared up. We've just got the engine open at the moment. Got an inverter here ready to fit in with our new system. It's got the cushions up whilst we're not going to be at the boat, just to air them out a bit. So they're a bit damp from condensation. Everything's all cleaned. A few of the original lampshades that were on here were cracked, so we've taken them off. For now we're just going to leave them like that as little uplighters. Bathroom's all clean and tidy. And here we'll probably get a new shower curtain, but apart from that, that's all done. And then again with the cushions, I'll just put them up like that to air them out a bit more rather than them touching the sides. So Yeah, it's pretty much it for today. And Bill's been working hard out here. Been in that hole down there.
So when testing the engine, we noticed that the water pressure from the raw water pump wasn't that great, and it was also leaking the weep holes. So we took the front cover off just to check the impeller, see that it was in really bad shape. So we decided to take the whole unit off. Once the pump was off, we disassembled it, removed the old impeller, the shaft, the bearings, and the old seal that was actually leaking, and began replacing with the kit that was actually already on the boat. So when we pressed the old shaft out, one of the two bearings stayed inside the pump, so we had to jimmy rig a little press and press that one out. As you can see there, the old bearings were completely seized and shot, in really bad shape. So we cleaned up the inside of the pump and then fitted the new bearings and the seal. But we had trouble fitting the shaft. We took it to a local marine store and had them press it in for us.
The sun has just come out, which is nice. However, it has been raining since we arrived, so yesterday. So the plan was actually to sand all this here, start I'm putting some teak oil on there, getting that already, but obviously it's wet and damp, so we'll do that next time we're up here. Hopefully it's a drier day and all the wood's dry. Yeah, we've just been focusing on the inside really. There she is. We are back in Ucluelet. There's Bill. I don't know if you can see him, he's down there. Just walking to the boat. So we're back. It's our second week owning the boat. Got some more clearing and tidying and installations to do. So hopefully this rain holds up. There's a few grey clouds around, of course. So yeah, it's beautiful out here. I'm gonna go to a cafe and get some work done, and then I'll be back to help Billy. So thanks to the Grey Whale Deli for coffee and cakes and providing a warm spot to work during off season. So if you're in Ucluelet, I do highly recommend stopping here. We also run some tours from there and have a gift shop as well. Probably can't see the mildew on the camera from far, but yeah, so it's all like this. So that side's all done. You might think, oh, this side looks clean too. But what it is all in here. I don't know if you can see. I can do it with one hand. Get in there. There you go. It's all coming out there, you see. We've got our table out for the first time. Well, our first proper meal, I guess. I think it'll be fish and chips tomorrow.
Yeah, true. More water strainer. Pulls in water from the outside to cool the engine.
Oh.
Yeah, if this
Yummy.
gets blocked, the engine overheats. So, well, it's been doing its job. Don't know how long it's been like that for, but clean it out now. Yeah, you can see through it now.
Nice. Send that there.
So after fitting the screen, we had to reapply the lids. Had to clean any debris off of the lid before fitting, and we added some gasket maker. After applying gasket maker to the lid, we applied it to the locking nut on top, and then just placed it, nipped it up for a few hours until it's semi-dried, and then we fully tightened it up, and then it was all ready to go.
So I've done that end, done there. I've got this end to do now. Ooh, yummy. That's it. I've never actually treated teak before, so at this stage I didn't know that I hadn't sanded the whole way back to the bare wood. But the oil treatment would at least give it a waterproof layer in the meantime. So if you know the west coast of Vancouver Island, it will definitely need the waterproof layer. Just testing the engine for any smoke coming out the exhaust there. Good morning. It is day 5, I believe, of us being on the boat. It is raining a lot today, so we won't be doing anything on the outside today, but there's lots of stuff to do on the inside, so we'll be showing you that. Bill was finished with most things. He did an oil change and everything yesterday, so that's all done, which is good. We've just got we're going to fit in the inverter. We're also going to sort out the shower because currently it just runs straight into the bilge. So we want that to be redirected in there. And then, yeah, first of all, we're going to have a coffee and warm up. Warm up a little bit. But yeah, it's feeling a lot more homely now, a lot cozier. We've kind of figured out the heat situation at the moment because it's quite cold at night. But now we're nice and toasty to sleep, which is important because we're so tired throughout the day from doing all this stuff. So yeah, it's good fun so far, and yeah, we're gonna crack on. So one of our light switches, the wire has come loose from the switch on there, so Bill's just trying to get in there and find the wire so he can reattach it. Nice, I think that was good. Already a bit better. Tidied up in here. Doing a quick once over, but we need to sort out like and get close. It's still got some work. We haven't done the floor yet, obviously, but getting there.
Jubilee clip there, and we need to plumb this into this guy. What should we have here? Fair bit.
Where did he go?
We used to tee this into a drainage. Then we just need to provide power for that guy. I think that was power just down there somewhere. Let's pop this one on. That's on.
See? Oh, okay, yep. So that went on that end.
Yeah, then that plumbs into. You just find a drainage point somewhere to get into there.
Nice.
Wire it in, and then yeah, we're good to go. Half the job done. These new guys. I was a bit too small. Already fitted one. Cut a big chunk there. So what I'm going to do is use a template, draw the hole, draw number of holes around, and then use zip paint sort of chop it out. Some page wrong. Holes drilled. The new hole is cut. So here we just started cleaning up the through holes with some vinegar water solution. Just went to clean back all the corrosion and just check, make sure there wasn't no ink in the bronze and that was in good shape. And once we confirmed that, we also tidied up the bonding system on each of the through holes, cleaned the surfaces, make sure there's a good connection, and also climbed our way through the tight gaps to make it to the back area to access the other post stuffing box, just to check that the stuffing wasn't leaking, and cleaned out all the corrosion, make sure it's all in good shape. So what we're doing here is a flush of the raw water system. So what I've done is just got a bilge pump here, put that in a bucket with some this guy. The system mixed with some water, just wired it in to 12 volt. Then we took the hoses. This one come from the raw water pump to the oil cooler. It just goes straight into the oil cooler, pumps through the system. This one comes off the heat exchanger. Would normally go to the exhaust elbow. I've actually got the bilge pump pumped to that, so I'm going back, reverse, pumping water back the way it normally comes. Hopefully push some crud and whatever else is in there out, and flush it through. And we're just going to keep cycling it on and off. There's coolant cleaner in there. Hopefully improve the cooling efficiency of the engine. Let's just wire it into the old inverter here. Let's just switch it. I'll leave that do its thing for a few hours. Also put a new intake on here. That's the crankcase ventilation there. It hooks straight into the old intake, which I've got here. Look at that. That's where the crankcase used to vent straight into. It's completely blocked. I don't know if someone's popped holes in there so I can breathe or what. But I'm gonna connect a hose onto that straight to a catch can. Maybe just a bottle or something, I don't know. While we had the cooling system apart, decided to take a look at the exhaust elbow, make sure there was no blockages.
We would have saved literally thousands on that.
I think it's the right way around.
Do not try doing this at home. Oh, but it is going to be our first sail.